Good morning, world. I am Judy, your web-based therapist, making therapy accessible and convenient for our clients in Florida and New York, and of course, sharing information worldwide. Today, I want to take a moment and talk about 5 tips for managing relationships with ADHD. Because, when you have ADHD, it goes with you everywhere you go, including into your personal relationships. So that's why today we're talking about 5 tips for managing relationships while you have ADHD. But before I get into that, I want to take a quick moment and say, if you are subscribed, thank you so much for being a part of our awesome world. If you're not yet subscribed, please take a moment and click the subscribe button below so you can join all this awesomeness. And remember to tick the bell so you are notified when I post new videos so you don't miss anything. And of course, if you'd like to purchase 1 or 3 of my books, there's also a link below that will take you to a site that shows you all your different options of places where you could get 1 or 3 of my books. Okay, let's get back. First, be upfront about it. I'm not saying that you're going to go on your first date where you're, hey, where do you come from? What's your name? What's your last name? I have ADHD. Not necessarily that. You will definitely take a little bit of time to get to know the person and build that rapport, get to that comfort level where hey, I would like to see this person, once or 2 more times. But I'm talking about once you start developing that bond with a person, when you get comfortable enough, it's important to let them know, hey, this is what's happening. And definitely be upfront about certain behaviors. With ADHD, some behaviors like the impulsivity, sometimes not really being fully engaged in a conversation, a person will notice that. So if you're able to let the person know at the very beginning, like, yeah, I have a tendency to do this. I have a tendency to do that. If you may experience this with me, that way they know what to expect. And of course, getting to the point where you're comfortable enough to say, yeah, this happens because I have ADHD. But just be upfront about it. Don't try to hide it, or don't try to not have ADHD or not display those behaviors, because sometimes people can get so busy attempting to be, normal, that they forget to be themselves, that they come off differently because you're so busy playing the role that you don't get to be who you are. Which brings me to the next one. Bring them into your system. No, not on the first date, but once you have decided, once you're getting close enough to that person and you're developing a relationship, once you are in that relationship, especially if you're building a long-term relationship with that person, bring them into your system. Help them understand how this works, and this is how, these are the things that you can do to help whatever we're doing, our lives fit into this system. Bring them in, encourage them to get to know you and your system. That way, it's not just, hey, I have my life here and my perfectly little schedule plan organization system that works for me. And then here is where I try to manage the, life with my partner. Bring them into your system. Help them figure out how to what do they need to do to get something into your schedule? If they need to go somewhere with you, what is it that needs to happen for them to ensure that you get the message and that you get there on time? All these things, the things that you do to manage your ADHD, to thrive with your ADHD, to succeed in all the ways that you're succeeding, make sure that they understand those, so that they can help continue that, the trend, help fit into that frame of where you are managing and succeeding and thriving. Which brings me to 3, which is kind of similar. Ask for what you need. A lot of times people find it difficult to ask someone, hey, this is what I need. This is what works for me. This is, these are the ways that I need. For example, maybe your partner always wants to do stuff, but the way they tell you, hey, we're going to the movies on Friday, or do you want to go to the movies on Friday? Maybe that system doesn't work for you. But there is a different system that works where, hey, can you let me know on Thursday that you want to do this? Can you let me know a week ahead of time when you want to do this? Or when you schedule something, can you send me a calendar invite? There are a lot of little things that help you function. A lot of little things, small gestures that help make things easier on you, that makes things more manageable for you. if there is something that your partner can do, if there is something that you need from this person, it's important that you ask. Attempting to survive without it only sets you up for failure or disappointment, because not when things don't work out, now you're hurting that you didn't do what you set out to. And the person may be hurting, the person may be experiencing all sorts of different feelings because you didn't come through. So instead of taking that risk, ask for what you need. If you need them to send you a calendar invite, ask for that. If you need the person to not engage when you're in the middle of a project, let them know these things. So those little things, ask for what you need. 4, make notes of important things. One thing with people with ADHD is because when you're dealing with impulsivity, you're dealing with you're in one conversation, you're having three other thoughts. You've already, vanished into your own little world while in the conversation. Sometimes you miss things. It's important that you take note of important things, like maybe the person's birthday, your anniversary, children's birthdays. Make note of those little things so that you are able to, even if you don't remember them, somewhere in your organizational universe, they are remembered. If there's something important that you want to remember, find a way to put it into a place that you're going to have access to, somewhere that it's going to remind you. The contact is a good place to write a person's birthday, write special events, put calendar notes so that hey, my wife's big presentation is on Tuesday. Set a reminder so that it reminds you on Monday to mention your wife's big presentation. Important things. When you remember important things, it tells the person that you care. When you don't remember or when you fail to remember certain things, the person may get the message, may get the idea that it's because you didn't care enough, even if that is not exactly what it is. More often than not, it's not that you didn't care, it's just that you didn't remember. But making little gestures, doing certain things to help bring those things up to help you remember can go a long way. 5, take your time and process your feelings. With ADHD, emotions can just be ginormous. And they can be quick, they can be overwhelming, they can just be everything all at once. And sometimes that makes it difficult for you to really get a grasp of where you are and make calculated decisions, because sometimes the emotions are just so strong and so powerful that you're, hey, we just met, I'm in love with you. Yeah, it can be that strong. And sometimes that can cause a person to push harder than the other person is ready for. Or sometimes that can cause you to be in a place where at greater risk to get hurt. Make sure that you're pacing yourself, that you're taking your time, that you're noticing, you're taking notes of what's going on, what is happening, how is this relationship moving, how is this situation happening? Am I am I getting what I want? That's an important one. Sometimes the emotions can get so big, so strong that you don't even realize that, hey, this relationship, the emotions are so big, but my needs are not getting met. Make sure that you're taking your time and that you're processing your feelings, whether it's positive or negative. If it's a great feeling, great. If it's a negative feeling, at least you're taking the time and processing that. That way you can figure out, okay, what is going on? Is this something I want to do again? So take your time. It's okay to take your time. There's no timeline. There's no deadline. It's important as you're developing these new relationships, especially new relationships, that you take your time and you process your feelings and really determine and decide if those big emotions, those strong emotions, what they really mean for you, and if they're really what you're looking for. Let's do a quick recap. 1, be upfront about behaviors as well as diagnosis. You may not be telling someone on the first date that you have ADHD, but don't wait until, your wedding day to tell them. They'll figure it out though. 2, bring them into your system. If the person is going to be a part of your life, a part of your everyday, bring them into your system, help them understand how to navigate the system so that you can thrive as a unit in your system. 3, ask for what you need. If there are things you know that that help make life, make your system, make your situations more manageable, make sure that you're asking for them. It could be as simple as asking someone to send you a calendar invite for events, or engagements. 4, make notes of important things: birthdays, anniversaries, special situation the person has coming. Because when we don't remember things, people think we don't care. But it's not necessarily that you don't care. It's because that's just what happened. If you set yourself little cheat sheets. And finally, take your time, process your feelings. Sometimes the emotions can be so strong and so overwhelming that you move beyond where you're ready to, beyond where you want to. So take your time and definitely process the feelings that you're experiencing to make sure that you are where you want to be. As always, if you or someone you know happens to be going through something that's more than you can handle, please remember that there are professionals like myself who are available, able, and willing to help, and are even providing remote services who can assist with whatever you may have going on. So please figure out who those people are in your community so that if you need them, you can reach out and get the help that you need. And that is all we have for today. Good morning, world. Have an awesome day.